finally awake? You belong with someone!
Since Gecko hasn't been attacking lately,
Work on that. I mean, he's gotta learn to talk to the lady.
The heroic Gelato 5 and the evil Gecko organization are determined rivals in the eyes of the general people. In truth, they are engaged in an illicit relationship. Hello and welcome back to our channel Ice Guy. Today we are going to do a recap of the anime series called Love After World Domination. Episode 1. The princess, Desumi Magahara, head of an evil organization, goes on a date with Fudo Ikawa, team captain of Freezing Sentai Gelato 5. Desumi offers Fudo some homemade cookies. She accepts Fudo's statement that most couples hold hands during their second date. But just as their hands come together, Blue Gelato stops over to see how Fudo is doing, and Fudo and Desumi start fighting. Blue thinks he won't be able to assist Red after witnessing their intense struggle and instead leaves Red to assist his other colleague. When Fudo notices that they are holding hands, they both become happy that they were able to accomplish it. Later, the crew disperses to confront Gecko. They have to deal with Moonlight Soldiers, Reaper Princess, and Culverin Bear, a gecko monster. The Gelato members then change. A strawberry scent, Justice flavor, and red gelato. Soda scent, Courage flavor, and blue gelato. Lemon flavor, the flavor of life, yellow gelato. The peach scent, love flavor, pink gelato. Green gelato has a pistachio flavor and a peaceful scent. Then Culverin Bear sends forth the Moonlight Soldiers, but the Gelato 5 easily defeats them. Princess then attacks through a smoke cover that Culverin Bear has set up, but Red manages to deflect her blow. Red chooses to take on Princess while his comrades deal with Culverin Bear. Fudo goes back to the base and works out until dusk. Fudo discloses that he has something on his mind and that he has fallen in love when the professor asks if he doesn't have anything better to do. The professor is surprised, but wonders if he told her how he feels. Fudo replies no, attempting to clarify that he is a hero and that they come from different worlds. But the professor smacks him and says a hero can fall in love too and tells him to tell her how he feels. Fudo goes out and arranges a meeting with the Reaper Princess. She arrives, knowing that he wants to pick up where they left off. She is shocked to hear Fudo say that he has loved her since he first laid eyes on her. On their third date, Desumi brings up her cat, which surprises Fudo because he wasn't expecting it. Then Desumi displays a photo of Halko. Desumi managed to capture herself in the image, which Fudo finds quite endearing. Desumi tells him that their connection must stay private so as not to make national headlines. But she still wishes for a world where they can interact regularly. Yellow then appears and informs Red that they are finished. Desumi attacks Fudo and beats him up when he doesn't strike back. Red claims that she has impressed him and that he would like to see her again. Then Reaper Princess departs, promising to challenge him whenever he is prepared. Episode 2. 6 months ago, Red began combating Princess Desumi Magahara after Gelato 5 first engaged her. Gelato 5 currently recruits Gecko members. Desumi and Fudo are engaged in conflict. As the news crew watches them, the newswoman shows up, and they begin the interview where Desumi is defeated. Desumi is a strong competitor, and the newswoman wonders what Fudo thinks of her. Fudo continues by saying that when he first saw her, his heart began to race and that he sometimes could not stop thinking about her. When the reporter asks Fudo if he has a girlfriend, Yellow breaks into laughter and says that Fudo is practicing all day and does not have a girlfriend before he has a chance to respond. After the interview, Fudo goes back to Desumi. He says that she is the only female he wants and that he will do anything for her. Desumi then ponders whether he will take her on a date because that is something she has always wanted to do with her future spouse. The two arrange to meet tomorrow at 5 o'clock in Central Park after Fudo says he will take her. Fudo then inquires as to what you do on an actual date after Desumi departs happily. Fudo spends some time that evening looking for advice online. Yellow, who is a little drunk, joins him and asks what he is doing. Yellow eventually assumes he is getting ready for the date she had announced. There are no restrictions, she says, and the only thing that matters is that he chooses an activity that they both find enjoyable.
Oh! It was so simple!
Following day, he visits Central Park while somewhat hidden. He is happy to see Desumi arrive and see her dressed casually. He brings her to a gym initially as a starting point. After training, Yellow phones Fudo and tells him not to follow her advice and that there are no rules because she was drunk. When Fudo asks her to clarify the rules, Yellow begins by telling him that he should dress appropriately and should not go out in only a tank top. Furthermore, he must be certain to make reservations at a respectable restaurant. Then he ought to discuss dessert or something else. Fudo immediately understood he had done everything incorrectly. In a panic and a desire to apologize and ask Desumi for another chance, he begins searching for her. Desumi discovers him after he is unable to locate her. And after a confrontation between Gecko and the Gelato 5, Red and Reaper Princess stand motionless in happiness. Many of the female employees who work for Gecko also reside in the women's dorm there. Tasumi returned one evening in a stupor. Halko was concerned about Tasumi, but she has been smiling a lot more since then. Halko pretends to be unaware of what occurred, but she is aware of Fudo and promises to make him responsible if he makes Tasumi sad. Episode 3, Gecko has not moved in a few days, but Fudo is having trouble because he cannot see Tasumi. The princess is in anguish since she has not seen Fudo in 2 weeks, but the Moonlight soldiers at Gecko headquarters think she is in a foul mood. When she asks the troops when they will engage the heroes, they lie and tell her that they do not know and that she wants to kill someone. Tasumi is informed by Culver and Bear that his new weapon has finally arrived. She beats him and gets ready to slap his hands as punishment, but she is unable to do so as he compliments her hands. She quickly hides Fudo and sits on him after her screen suddenly turns. She is told there is an attacker by an officer, but she says she is aware of it. Tasumi swiftly hides with Fudo in her locker after Culverin alerts her of the intruder by entering her dressing room.
Weapon signal lost.
Sit down here next to me.
As he removes it, Fudo notices something on his face. The Gecko executives are summoned to an early meeting the next day. They are informed by Supreme Leader Bossler that the monstrous conclusion of their efforts, Ultimate Phantom, is about to be born because of everyone's efforts to accumulate a consistent supply of negative energy. Beast Princess merely wants to battle, while Bossler considers recommendations for the next opponent. Steel Princess requests more contemplative time. Bossler rejects Princess' suggestion that they see the city lights since it is too speculative. When she suggests an aquarium, the suggestion is again rejected because fighting indoors is challenging. Fudo had a smartphone with him and was reading a book for beginners on it. Tasumi sends him a note informing him that Yomiurland, the theme park they wish to visit, is Gecko's next target. Fudo chooses to respond to Tasumi and uses Suri to provide him with Sunday's weather information. Yellow is shocked to learn that Fudo owns a smartphone, but she concludes that something is wrong with him after hearing what he asks Suri. Yellow dresses up into the park on Sunday. Pink follows even though she does not think Fudo is hiding anything. Yellow is startled that Tasumi is not hiding anything and has come to fight them as he confronts Red. They change into their new forms and team up with him to battle Gecko. Fudo and Tasumi depart from them to go on a date and take part in various park activities. Tasumi and Fudo feel it is time to head back to the heroes now that they have fought Gecko. Yellow takes advantage of the situation, goes shopping, and forces Blue and Green to carry her stuff. Pink catches a photograph on a wall of Fudo and Tasumi as they leave the park. Episode 4, Tasumi walks home after school with a few of her classmates. They ask her to sing karaoke, but Tasumi declines because she has plans. Fudo brings out protein as Haru remains mute, assuming he knows what she would ask, and says that she must have hit a wall with her strength training. He then provides her with a workout regimen to build a body of steel. Fudo reassures Haru that everything is alright because the training book also includes photographs of the exercises as she tries to explain the issue with the picture. She is reassured that he does not have a girlfriend as he continues to describe how to perform specific workouts and what would be beneficial for Haru. Then a call for an emergency is made for the two. Another attack is being launched by Gecko.
No, no! I promise you got it all wrong! Just hear me!
Tasumi believes that love has made her weaker, and that perhaps she is not cut out for love, but Fudo hugs her and declares his undying love for her. She replies yes when he asks if she believes him. Tasumi has not yet forgiven him for taking her out on a date after school, but if he does, Fudo swears he would make amends. Then Haru shows up, catches them, and informs Fudo that the battle is done. Fudo then departs with Haru, but as she does not comment, he wonders if she comprehended what was going on. When he realizes she heard everything, he realizes he is dead and asks her how much she heard. Fudo believes this is his final day as he drives to the meeting the next day. They enter the conference as Haru then emerges. Haru admits that she and Fudo are the subject of the announcement, which Professor Big Gelato claims she has. Then Haru informs them that they must leave school early since the end of term exams are starting. When Haru does not speak for a week, Fudo cannot quit wondering why. Tasumi eventually prevails in their combat. As a result of her passion for Fudo, Haru then says she joined the squad. Fudo returns and apologizes for not being able to find the beverage Tasumi was looking for. Tasumi has Haru sleeping on her lap, and he worries that she may have permanently silenced her. They later stroll alongside Haru, who assures them that she is cheering for them. Tasumi is told to get along by Haru, who threatens to steal Fudo if given the opportunity. And that's all for today, guys. If you liked the recap and want more summaries like this, consider subscribing to our channel.